others were tortured, not accepting deliverance.
This lesson starts Unit 2, the sovereignty of Jesus, and our lessons will be drawn mainly from Hebrews. Most scholars agree that Hebrews was written to a group of second-generation Jewish Christians who were tempted because of persecution by the Romans and Jewish authorities to go back to Judaism. However, the epistles of the Hebrews has been the subject of diverse opinions because we are not sure about the author or the destination, but we are sure about the sound Christian doctrine contained in the book. These Christian Jews were under pressure by government and Jewish society to conform, and it weighed heavy on their mind. After all, they knew of the imprisonment and the martyrdom of church leaders. So as they contemplated returning to the Jewish faith, they were engaged in a cost-benefit analysis, weighing the cost of Christianity against the benefit of holding on to new faith. The writer in Hebrews knew of their dilemma, and in his letter to these people of Jewish heritage, he reminded them that God spoke to their ancestors in many ways. He spoke directly to Adam and Eve. He spoke through dreams and visions to the leaders in the Old Testament. He spoke through Balaam's donkey, but most often he spoke to people through the prophets. The writer proclaims that God has now spoken to us through his Son, not only in the words of Jesus, but in the character and deeds of Jesus. These converts were being pulled by those who wanted them to return to their Jewish tradition, to respect the Torah, to listen to the words of the prophets like Isaiah and Elijah, Ezekiel, Habakkuk, Amos, Deborah, and others. The writer of Hebrews knew that these converts would face intense pressure from society. So his message reaffirms to them that, yes, these messengers were great, but Jesus is absolutely unique. So unique that he stands apart, stands above every other creature, including the angels. Jesus has been appointed heir of all things, and through him all things were made. Jesus is not merely a messenger. When Jesus took human form at his incarnation, he manifested the glory of God. The reason why Jesus radiates the glory of God is because he is of one essence with God the Father. The Son upholds all things by his powerful word. He died for our sins and removed the stain, and now sits at the right hand of God. As modern Christians, there will be days when you too will be grabbed and pulled back and must analyze whether to choose faith or lose status, facing ridicule by friends and society because you will not accept as right those things which you know the Bible teaches us are wrong. There will be days when you are grabbed and pulled back and must analyze and choose between faith or whether to lose professional opportunities because you refuse to participate in activities which you know to be morally wrong, and you will be ostracized. There will be days when you will be grabbed and pulled back and must analyze whether to choose faith or to lose a loved one, someone who means so much to you, because you refuse to say that which is untrue about another. On that day, you will be facing a moral cost-benefit analysis, asking yourself, is my faith worth the cost that I am paying? Can I just set it aside this one time? And you know the answer is no, because by putting down your faith, by setting it aside this one time, you are placing another in front of the true God. Hebrews answers the basic questions of life. The letter tells us that there was and will still be a cost for believing, but it also says in this epistle that God is, that he has spoken, and that his Son, who is the epitome of his revelation, is supreme over all. The letter tells us that God demands our total allegiance. He is not tolerant of a rival God being placed before him. He alone will help us make sense of our trials, and we must submit ourselves and trust in him through the trials of life. The letter tells us, in essence, to keep the faith. That's the lesson for this week. You guys have a great week. Bye.